Hello out there, middle-aged gamers. It is me, Adam, and today is our 1-year anniversary. We have a little special treat for you guys. Unfortunately, Krian could not be here today, but we've come up with a little solution to that. So we'll see how it goes.
I tried to pick three things that I've not chosen before, and I don't think I've chosen any of these to review. But okay, good. I was starting to get a bit senile with which videos I've chosen because you go through that decision process, and I'm like, this was an option, but then I end up not picking it. But yeah, Nine Parchments. I keep talking about Nine Parchments because this was our middle game from Diablo 3 to Trine with the misses. And actually, on the Switch, we got it super cheap. I said last week we managed to pick it up for like 120 NT, which is like $4 or something crazy. And we end up messaging all the family and friends and loads of people. And I've gone through this game. I think I probably completed about 12 times by now and unlocked pretty much everything because it's a good game and it's got replayability and it's a really good thing to get your friends in. You unlock a whole load of different characters. And each wizard has different specialties, different spells. You've got like a selection of 6 spells, like lightning, fire, ice, death, life, and lightning. Good, I remembered them all. Pretty good.
I think you said lightning
and they all
twice.
Did I say lightning twice?
You might not have. I don't know.
Lightning, fire, water. Oh, steam. Steam. I forgot steam. Steam opposes lightning for some bizarre reason. Because they all have like an opposing element. So life and death, obviously, and fire and water. And then they decided that obviously the opposite of lightning must be steam.
Not stone.
There we go. But it is pretty funky. As you you unlock different characters. So there's like an owl and he specializes in lightning. There's a cat that specializes in death. There's a female specializes in life. And they all kind of have these focus. And when you have unlocked them, there's then 3 additional alternate skins for these characters. And that changes your starting spells for your character. And as you level up throughout the storyline, there's like 9 boss areas. And when you kill that boss, you gain an extra spell. So you start with 3, and then each time you kill a boss, you progress. And it's random, basically. When you kill the boss, it gives you 3 spell choices to pick from. So every game's completely different. You always end up completely different stuff. You can only be assured of what you start off with. You get character points. You set those character points in the different skills. There's 3 different trees. You can't fill them all up. And then there's like a prestige version. If you go and complete the game on hardcore level, as you complete the different missions, you get a gilded version of these characters, which then can go up to like level 60 instead of 40. And you can maybe complete 2 of the skill trees instead of 1. So I really enjoy it. It's quick, it's easy. It's you can play it online, play it with friends, couch play. You can mix the two. You can play playing with a couch friend and a couple of friends online. And it's funky, it's fun, it's lighthearted, and it gets tough when you get to those harder levels, the hardcore version. If your entire party wipes, then back you go down to the beginning level. I think with most hardcore versions of that. But I really like the synergy. It comes automatically with friendly fire on, and there's no way of setting friendly fire off. The only thing you can do is you can change the friendly fire mode. So you can have friendly fire normal, acts as normal. You hit somebody, they take the damage. You can have friendly fire 50-50, and then all of a sudden your whole party dies horrifically from some miscast spell, or you have PvP damage entirely reflected back on the caster of the spell, apart from AoE damage. So again, you get completely different mixes when you get online and you play these games, because depending on that PvP setting, damage setting, depending on those damage settings, depends on how much you end up killing each other. So it is good. I do recommend it. I really recommend it. So that is what I played this year, and that is my highlight of the game of this year. Old game, but it's really good. Next, I'm going to go on to what I've been playing recently. The probably most recent game has been Vermintide II. I played a couple of levels with Robbie. This happened because Baldur's Gate I wasn't particularly enjoying. Dark Alliance, it was difficult to get people to play in the groups. The online match mode seemed to be broken. I must try it again just to see, because I feel like if they repaired that and you're not sitting waiting around for like 15 minutes to be connected to a game, maybe I would go back to that. Vermintide 2 seems to have retained its player base. It is very, very similar in a lot of how the mechanics work and the gameplay works, but it's just got that more brutal to it. It's more, I don't know, just how the camera, the violence, the aggression, and like say, because it's like an older game, there's more content, there's more levels. They've released lots of little expansions, and yeah, I mean, I was loving playing the who was I playing in this? The archer, whatever Waste Rider. I'm not sure. The elven character was by far my favorite, because you could do some decent range damage. They all have range damage, but I think that one has like the best skill sets for it. I think some of the others are pretty good actually. The Witch Hunter is pretty funky to play. The Halberdier, again, very similar. You have a starting character similar to Nine Parchments in a way that, as you level up, when you get to certain levels, you unlock new skins, and the skins change your abilities, your powers, and you work a little bit differently. So the second level for pretty much every single class is a ranged version of it, which is kind of good. The elf is the ranger is the only one that starts with it, and I think their second two turns you into like a close combat instead, so it spins you around. Yeah, I really liked it. I need to start playing it a little bit more. And get back into it, because I found some of the newer content that I've not really got into, and I just unlocked it, and I haven't been back to properly progress. There was something that they did over the summertime, and it was like a new system where you ran through parts of the dungeon, sometimes backwards, and they had a really, really weird running work. So how it worked was like specialty the zone areas, and you had to like capture the flags, and these flag areas had like 6 or 8 different elements, and they all changed the rules. So yeah, it's just extra ways of playing the game to keep it funny, and I've not really got to play that. So that's my plans and for the future, which is the most exciting. And I have all of us. I don't think any of us have picked this for anything that's coming out, but I know we're pretty much all going to play it. Probably the only one game that overlaps all 3 of our interests to a high level, and that is Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. And I have to say, I've not played properly in maybe about 9 months. I think when I moved back to Taiwan, I was in a raid group for a couple of months, and then it just wasn't working out with my time, waking up early in the morning because they're American. I'm in Taiwan. The time zone was crazy. So I ended up stopped playing. And I keep meaning to go back, but I just kept saying I may as well wait for Endwalker to come out. And it's looking good. Level cap goes up to 90, as we probably can expect. 2 new classes. The Reaper Summoner DPS type thing. You summon these shadowy creature things, and then when you're attacking, they buff your damage. Almost sounds like Druidish from the sounds of it, but they're more emo-y. And yeah, it said that they're going to take the Dark Knight weapon, the Dark Knight Scythe weapon. So and they're going to be what did it say? It said they're going to be very Bloodborne style.
They look
Bloodborne
good.
style. So yeah, it should be interesting. I hope it's not like the last one where they pushed Dark Knight and it ended up being pretty tragic for a while. The other new class being the Sage, floating daggers, healing or buffing, breaking. I mean, I've never played some of the early Final Fantasies, but apparently a Sage never played like this. It was saying that in one of the Final Fantasies, they were a sort of like a dark light magic damage user. And the other one, they were like a buffer of some kind. I don't know, you guys played Final Fantasy earlier versions?
I've never played a version that had a Sage class, because that wasn't in Tactics, and I don't remember it being in the first Tactics Advance, and I don't remember it being in 5, but maybe it was in 5. But
must have been like the very early games where you had thousands of jobs.
Oh, it said here, Final Fantasy III, where it was a red mage with ultra-powerful white and black magic, and the Final Fantasy Tactics handheld games, where they inflict status ailments.
okay, so they were in Tactics Advance. I just must have never unlocked it.
Yeah, not interested. So they're looking interesting. We do need a new heal class. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to get back into it. Don't know if I'm going to get into raiding this tier. We'll see what they do with Red Mage. Last time they didn't change it too much. And then I'm hoping when it does come out, I will probably start doing a lot more videos and switch my interest to Final Fantasy XIV. And even before that, actually, I'll probably start the game like maybe a month before and get some videos and contents out. But it's looking at Male Vieira. They've caved in to the whine of Shadowbringers, and now all of those people spamming Male Vieira in every discussion chat that they do have got their own way. Cancel culture. And we also... Yeah, additive counter.
Additive culture. It's the counter meta.
Yeah. And again, you guys might be able to correct me on this. Loporritz, the new bunny beast tribe that's going to be in the new
I'm not sure.
expansion. Loporrits.
Loporritz? I don't know.
Loporritz.
They're not Moogles, and nobody cares.
They look kind of cute, though. They look pretty cute.
They look kind of like the Moogles from Final Fantasy XII.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm expecting maybe we might all be playing this game at the same time. And I've also decided that I might have to cave in and buy it on my laptop because I'm desperately losing the war to ever play on my PlayStation 5 at the moment because I don't have seniority, and Ghost of Tsushima is apparently the only game that's allowed to be played on my PlayStation 5 12 hours a day. So I figured that maybe I'll get it on the laptop. Then I can play in here, and I can stream easier, and I can chat easier. And I'm not, if I want to play into the, I don't know, early hours for normal people. Normal people say, oh, if I play to the early hours and keep the missus awake. But for me, it's I play in the daytime and keep the missus awake. Then we won't have arguments, so I can come down here and play. So yeah. What do you guys think?
I'm looking forward to it. We have a question in the chat asking which data center are we on. We are on, I don't know about Antoine. Antoine, do you know which data center you are?
Yeah, I mean the European one, of course, because of my free companies in France. So.
Okay. Because I know Phil and I are on Crystal.
I'm on Google.
Marlborough.
Yeah.
Data server switch. Everybody should come over, and we should get some proper gaming on the go. I can't remember. Does it cost like $10, $15 or something for the server switch?
Well, aren't they adding like where you can visit other server or other data centers? I know you can already visit other servers, but I heard there's something about switching where you can visit other data centers.
Oh yeah, there you go. No need. Endwalker is getting cross data center.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'd love to play with you. It's just that if I haven't played FF in nearly 2 years, so I would need 1 or 2 good months of playing to catch up with the story.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I haven't played in like 2 weeks.
It's fine. You come and then Daddy will give you some money to make it a bit easier to catch up.
Oh, thank you, Daddy.
Get the Heaven's Word.
Yeah, you can also usually our Marlborough is quite often a what's the word? In need of players center. What's the word for it?
Is it? I always get like a
preferred server
loading queue, but I'm always like 13. It is always a really small number. It's never like
it's just a generic loading screen. Yeah, I think normally it's a preferred, or quite often it's preferred server. It's one of the weaker ones on Crystal, that and like Goblin and a couple of the others. So yeah, if you're on a normal server, you can. I think it's free to transfer over to a preferred server at certain times. So
currently, right now on Crystal, Goblin and Balmung are preferred. I'm looking at it right now.
Balmung, that's usually always busy. I think it must just change.
Yeah, I don't know. Balmung's Balmung, and that's the one where we always get the trolls. I don't know why, but whenever I'm in a group and there's somebody who's like harassing everyone, it's always
Balmung. I can't remember if Balmung is that's either the trading server for gatherers and stuff, or it's the ERP server. I can't remember which one. They're the 2B ones. Balmung and Behemoth, is it? One of them is the ERP
Brynhilder.
server. Brynhilder might be the ERP server. Oh, Balmung.
All right. Well, Antoine, any comments on Phil's 3 games?
Just a question on Nine Parchment. I don't think you talked about, is this a matchmaking system, or do you really need to have actual friends to play with it?
Yeah, you just click the online system and it'll show you everybody else who's playing a game at the moment. So you can
All right,
jump into their game, or you can set your own game up. You can have it with just your friends, or you can have it just open in general with everybody.
And does the system work well? Because I remember Dark Alliance, you were really annoyed with it. So
Yeah, instantly. I've never had a problem. Every time I've gone on, even though the game is super old, I think it's because it's just so cheap and so replayable. I've never had a problem finding anybody to play with. Every time there's a few games, or you just make your own game and people join. You can set the difficulty level and the damage rules, and then just click it, and people jump in, jump out of your game constantly.
I'm afraid I'll never play these kind of games. But thanks for showing it to me.
Yeah, it's
it
kind of
enlightens me.
Diablo-esque.
Just with a little
I
bit
was
more of a
thinking League of
quirky
Legends.
charmer.
Okay, but the gameplay is similar
Yeah.
with the leveling up and whatnot. Okay.
But and it's pretty funky how everything's really, really colorful. So you can really tell, like the yellow monsters, they take no damage from lightning spells. So you can't just go pure lightning. So like the lightning character only has 3 lightning spells from one of his beginning skins. So you really have to mix up your party or level up, and you can take some buffs that, like you still do maybe 33% damage against a lightning creature if you've tooled up your maximum abilities. So it really encourages having a mixed party and a fair few people. I was just laughing because there's a guy walking a very tiny bridge, and
I know. I the first time the trailer pushed by,
every
I was
time,
like,
no,
whoa.
probably not every time. Like 75% of the time where I've played that game and got to that part, somebody has done that exact same thing. So that's exactly what it's like, because when you're walking between one area to the other area, they're being a bit reckless. So normally it's okay, and that's the one bit where you've got to be really tight with it. You often just see somebody go flying over the edge.
So how if you do die, what happens? Do you just have like a timer till you come back, or?
Yeah, your death pool respawns relatively close, and you just get allies. The more allies that step in, the faster it comes. And if you're not in combat, the faster it spins around, and it's fine. And I think when your whole party is dead, one person will resurrect with about half health, and that's kind of like your one-up power. And some characters have their own innate ability on their the ritual tree, where the bottom one might say that when you die the first time in each combat, you come back to health with full health. So there are some options.
All right.
Isn't Balmung Legacy?
I don't know. It might be hard to say. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Endwalker too. I'm looking forward to trying out the Sage class. Maybe try a new healer. The only healer I have currently is the Dollar. So
I might try Summoner. I might try the Reaper Summoner. The problem with the Summoner is I don't really like when you have like the pet bars for it. That's the one thing that stopped me really enjoying Summoner and enjoying what's the other one? The DPS
that's gone now.
The monster bars.
Yeah,
you can still control those though, can't you? The pet bars.
The pets are now a spell basically. So your pet will sit there and auto attack, and then one of your spells will basically tell your pet to do one of its 3 attacks.
That's doable now then.
Yeah. So now the pet bar, you have 3 things, and they're effectively treated as spells. They just originate.
They've completely neutered the class. They've made it sort of new.
They've made it very different, and I'm hoping that they change it even further, because I like the idea, like where you build up to Demi Bahamut and then you build up to Demi Phoenix, and I like that kind of build up, and then you get this big thing. But I don't think we're getting another Demi this one. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. But I think they've been trying to overhaul the Summoner for a while, but they just haven't found a good balance, because it was kind of based off of the WoW Warlock, and the way Summoners operate in Final Fantasy is nothing like the way Warlocks operate in WoW, but that's the role it filled, and now they're trying to kind of give it more of its own identity. Yeah, but we'll see how that goes. So.
I feel like we could have dedicated the whole episode to Final Fantasy XIV, though. It could have been
Probably
a way
could have
to go.
if we would really wanted to. Maybe we will in the future. Maybe when Endwalker comes out, we can have a
the week before.
The week before,
it
yeah.
comes out.
We can have another Final Fantasy extravaganza like what Antoine and I did in the past. All right, so we good to move on to my games, I guess? All right.